Good morning, everyone. A warm welcome to all who have joined us now. We also welcome Priyanka San, who has just joined us now for the webinar today. Thank you so much, Priyanka San. So, to begin with, for today's session, I just brief you about the agenda of the webinar today. First of all, I would like to thank the students who joined us on the weekend morning. And we will start off with, we'll start off with a brief intro about SNRC, would be, done by my colleague Ramasan. And I would just request the students to, mute your audios and just listen to the speaker. If there are any queries and any, questions which need to be answered, in the end of the session, we have this Q&A session where you could just raise your hand and we'll call out your name and you'll be able to ask your question. It'll be answered by Priyanka Sam. And so, so we will go ahead now and start the webinar today. Priyanka San, a warm welcome to you. A very good morning also.
Thank you very much. Very good morning to you and everyone. Thank you.
So we'll begin with a small introduction about SNRC from my colleague Ramasan. So let's welcome Ramasan. Yeah. Before we start off with the intro of SNRC, I would just like to brief you all about Priyanka San, who's joined us for the webinar today. So Priyanka San has been the deputy director of Ritsumeikan University from Japan. She's been associated with the Ritsumeikan India office for almost 11 years now. She's been assisting the Indian students who are studying abroad, or who are studying there and who plan to study in Japan. And also to speak about the Ritsumeikan University, it's been one of the oldest universities in Japan, almost more than 100 years old. And the university today is well known as one of the Western Japan's four leading private universities. And also, the Ritsumeikan University has exchange programs with schools throughout the world. So it's going to be a very informative session today, and Priyanka San would be sharing more details about the university very shortly. So thank you so much, and kindly be attentive and also try to grasp more from this webinar. And now I will hand it over to my colleague Rama-san, who will be doing the brief intro of SNRC, or as we call Sakura Nihongo Resource Center.
Good morning, one and all. I hope I'm audible. Great. So, before I get started, first, a heartfelt welcome to one and all, and a heartfelt thank you to Priyanka San, who, out of a busy schedule, amidst this COVID situation, where they have been, sending students from India to Japan, loads of students, not only India but internationally, which they can take students. So amidst a busy schedule, she has agreed and come and addressing our students here. So very warm welcome to you, ma'am, and a big thank you to you for taking up this occasion. Okay. So Saturday morning, all of you kids, some of you had school, some won't have, even with the online classes, but all of you are here. A very warm welcome to you and your parents too, who are there with us today. Okay, so I will not take much time because all of you must be waiting to hear from Priyanka San. So I just take just a couple of minutes to introduce what we are, so that majority of today's strength is our own students who know about us. But still, if there are any outside students, let them understand what we are. So can we go to the first slide? So basically, as you see the name, Sakura Nihongo Resource Center. We are a core Japanese language services company, and we have been in the industry for almost 21 years now. Yeah, and catering to all Japanese language services, only and only Japanese language services. So we have two lines of business, which is one to the corporates. We give a lot of services to the corporates. Again, everything related to Japanese. And one as an institute where we teach Japanese. So most of you are our own students. So to the corporates, what all do we do? So we do trainings, which is both physical and now everything is moved to online, so internet based. We do document translations, which is from English to Japanese, Japanese to English. This is a flagship program of SNRC, which is a Japanese culture and business etiquette program. So anyone who wants to deal with Japan and Japanese first has to be oriented towards that land. So this is a very, very important program for anyone who wants to pick up Japanese. Not only this, we used to have a lot of Japanese expats in India. So, they also needed to be a little culturally oriented or know about the culture of India. And of course, Indian mentality was let them be in the shops. Other than that, a very important thing is bilingual placements. So we understand the corporate need, we understand our students and the database what we have. So we bridge between these two and we do bilingual placements. So apart from, this is a list of the corporates what we are working. As you can see, core Japanese companies you are seeing, then the IT sector, manufacturing, and automotive, pharmaceutical. So across all verticals we've been working, right? So and in each case, each company, we are connected with them in multiple ways or multiple businesses we do with them. Apart from this, not only clients, corporates, but we are also associated with few institutes, the academicians, who feel that their students with the Japanese language will have a better future. So the list of engineering and non-engineering colleges you can see here, which again showcases that the need for bilingual strength in the market is pretty much high. So moving on, I have been talking about ASIS. So as an employee, of course, you would feel they will talk about them, good about them, but this is what our students speak, and all these are organic reviews. We have around 606 reviews with a 4.7 rating, and for Malaysian office, where we have been operational for the last 21 years, and the other reviews of 260 is for our Coromandel office, where we have been operational for a decade plus now. So all these have been shared by our own students who have, who felt that our services have been good. So what all do we do? Apart, one you have heard about corporate services, but what about our students? There are a lot of value-add activities that we cater to our students. So one of the key programs is the Michi. As today we are connected to know about Richmond University, but on the other hand, in the past Michi speakers, we've had a lot of corporate leaders from various sectors of business coming in and connecting with students. So we are bridging here between the industry and the academics again. So the industry speakers come and speak on this platform and give their knowledge or inputs about what is the demand, what is the relationship between India and Japan, and why there is a need for Japanese bilingual professionals. Apart from that, we keep doing a lot of seminars the previous slides. A lot of language seminars to our students and non-SNRC students too. And one of the key things which our students benefit is our tie-up with universities or institutes in Japan. So we are one of the sole representatives of few institutes in Japan where you could go for a higher education in Japanese. So that way our students get benefited. And of course, the last 2 points I have mentioned even in my corporate, our connections with corporate. So bilingual placements and cultural orientation happens almost in every session of ours. So it's not only JLPT orientation, we teach the language in totality, or we ensure that the students imbibe the language and the culture, everything related to Japan in our classes. So I'm not taking much time. This is what I wanted to explain about SNRC. So we are very fair, very apt on our social media network. So you can please follow us on our social media where you can keep getting a lot of inputs about what's happening at SNRC and with what all added advantages you can get. So please follow us on our social media. And now over to you, Priyanka San. You can make a comments. So thank you very much. So I hope you have a very good, the next 45 minutes will be full of learning, and we would get to know a lot about Ritsumeikan University and what they offer. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you very much, students and parents, for joining in. Ma'am, can you, can you
Is it
allow
okay,
me?
ma'am? AK is the host now. Is that
No, Priyanka,
one second?
she has to be the host. Oh, I haven't been.
No worries.
One
Take your
minute.
time. Yeah.
I request AK-san to make Priyanka-san the host, please.
By mistake.
One moment, Priyanka-san.
No worries. Take your time.
AK-san, can you hear me? I request you to make Priyanka-san the host, please.
Or make us the host.
Okay, so now, so I will very quickly share one small video for you to understand little bit about Ritsumeikan, and then I will start the presentation.
I really intrigued to go to Ritsumeikan due to the fact that it has this English-based program. Since I don't have a lot of Japanese basic languages, and I would like to go to the campus directly study without having these language courses. Kyoto is kind of like perfect for study abroad because like people here are so kind for foreigners, and plus in Kyoto it is not too urbanized or countryside, so actually life is in the middle way, and I think it is perfect proportion for everyone to study abroad here. For me, I like the fact that Kyoto is a traditional part of the Japanese cultures. By studying here, I'm able to be very close to many historical heritage and also traditional culture. So I'm able to know this country more furthermore than just a tourist.
What I like about the dorm the most is that it's very international, and every day I get to meet and talk with so many different people from so many different countries. And at the same time, I get to learn about so many different cultures and backgrounds, and those people are very friendly, welcoming, and open-minded.
My enrollment period, which is September, out of 36 of us, there were, I think, 13 countries represented. So I'm studying with people from all over the world, in Japan, in international relations. So I think my most favorite things about the GS.
They see differences as not something negative, but something that you could celebrate.
Those classes are
interactive classes. Because of the small class setting, we have opportunity to communicate with not only our classmates, but our professors as much as possible.
I like the Four Seasons because we can have different beautiful scenery in here, and Japanese people are insanely polite.
What I like about Osaka is that as a city, it's really safe, and then there are a lot of attractions like takoyaki and Universal Studios.
Ritsumeikan is such an old and respectable name, so it's always a proud moment when you tell people that you're from Ritsumeikan, and they always think that we're intelligent.
Professors have passion in teaching, and the students are always very friendly. We discuss and share our opinions and find out the better one. The atmosphere in this major is more like a family and like brothers and sisters. I think this is very precious for me.
If these would not make me satisfied with my program has to offer, then I don't know what to do.
Take my hand and I'll be your guide. I'll take you places that you'd never find. I know something about a state of mind. I've got the dreamer in me. Roses bloom and the sun will shine. Leave your troubles in the world behind. Stars shine brighter when you free your mind. I've got the dreamer in me. And when we reach the destination, you will see. The world is waiting for the ones who hold the key. Just look inside and unlock the possibility. The dreamer lives in you and me. So take a breath and make the moment last. You'll never know if you never ask. All you need will be within your grasp. I've got the dreamer in me. And when we reach the destination, you will see. The world is waiting for the ones who hold the key. Just look inside and unlock the possibility. The dreamer lives in me.
So thank you. I will just start my presentation. Okay. One second. Okay, so this is one of our campus, and this is how, I'll show you more pictures about for the campus. So this is how Japan looks like in cherry blossom. And this big R in Japan is very popular by the name of Ritsumeikan University because it's a very old university in Japan. So I'll show you the four season. So this is how spring during the cherry blossom time looks like. This is how the summer weather, how people enjoy various games and to be together, and the fall. This is the fall season and the winter. So this is the campus during the winter season. So where are we located? We are located in Kansai. So Kansai is an area that's about 2 hours, 30 minutes from Tokyo. And we are connected by Shinkansen, by plane, and by bus. So we have various campuses near Kyoto and Osaka. And I'll be sharing more about the city. So Kyoto, where we have our main campus. So Kyoto is very, very popular with tourists. So, you know, anybody who comes to Japan will go to Tokyo and will go to Kyoto, because Kyoto has a history. It used to be the capital of Japan, and it has the maximum number of, you know, World Heritage sites in Japan are located in Kyoto. So it has history, it's historical, nostalgic, and student friendly. So Shiga, we have our engineering campus. It is very rich in nature, industrial, and relaxed. So Shiga, where we have a campus, also has lots of you know, companies who have offices. So especially for our engineering students, so everything, you know, they can even look at the offices that are nearby. So the third area is Osaka. It's very vibrant, welcoming, and a commercial hub. Moving forward. So while I was talking about the Kyoto city, so Kyoto city it's got 10% of student population. So it has so many universities and so many colleges, and it is very, very comfortable for any child coming from any part of the world, because as a city, they receive so many tourists, they receive so many students. Yes. Moving forward, in terms of the ranking, we are ranked #1 for safety. So Kyoto, Osaka, Kobe has been ranked #1 for safety as per the 2017 Best Student City Index. It's a very safe place. So university, Ritsumeikan University was founded in 1900. That's 121-year-old university. We are part of Top Global University Japan. So what is Top Global University Japan? It is an initiative by Japanese government. So we started in 2009, and that's how the office, India office got open in India with that Japanese government initiative. The purpose was to help Indian students or the international students from all over the world to go and study in Japan in English. And now we are part of this project. It is till 2023, and of course it will get extended. So there are only 30 universities in Japan that are part of this project by Japanese government out of 400 plus university. So yes, so that is one of the reasons why these English programs were started for international students. So we are ranked #3 in terms of scientific research grant for the private university. We get a research funding of 1.3 billion yen. It's a huge funding that the university has been getting. We are ranked #1 in Western Japan for foreign faculty, because we have faculties from all over the world who are teaching the students. So there are about 2,450 foreign students from 71 countries and regions. International partner institution, 461 in 68 countries and regions. So study abroad opportunities. So the children have an opportunity, whether they want to do 1 semester to 6 months to a year of a study abroad opportunity in any of a partner institution, absolutely free of cost. They just have to pay their living cost of staying in another country. So it's many of the children. So of course it was pre-COVID, and I'm sure once the situation is better, children will start going, used to take this opportunity and visit many parts of the world and study in different universities. So this is our international relation program in Kinugasa campus, Kyoto. So I'll just show the picture. And this is the second information science and engineering, our engineering campus. So this engineering campus have bachelor, master's, PhD. It is just filled up with the complete. So we receive a lot of children from India, and there is a special, so especially at the master's and PhD also, we also receive a lot of students from India. And talking about Osaka, this is our Osaka campus. It's between Osaka and Kyoto. So this is a very new campus. It has a 5-star facility. It's a very, we have a policy science and liberal arts program in this campus. So talking about the COVID situations, last year when the COVID hit, as a university and government has completely given support to all students studying in Ritsumeikan all over the world, giving them, especially for the families whose income was affected. So there was a small funding given to all children to have their online, to procure laptop, to have the online connection. And if they were stuck in the country, so many of the children, from many parts of the world have not been able to go to Japan for some or the other reason, and they are given complete support for doing online education. So yes, and last year, once the situation was better in November, our Indian students were able to travel to Japan, and this is how it looks like. It was like when they were able to travel. So there are 430 clubs and circles for children. They can participate in any of them, be part of any of the clubs and circles. Part-time job, every child coming and studying in any Japanese university is allowed to work for 28 hours per week. Once they reach airport, they can apply for the work permit there only, and they get it immediately at the airport. So they can work on campus and off campus. There are many jobs available on campus, and of course off campus jobs are available. So there's a complete student support available for the students for any kind of support required. So accommodation, we have accommodation on and off campus, and off campus accommodation also belongs to the university. Maximum is a 15 minutes walk, or you can take a bicycle, ride a bicycle. It is a very comfortable walk, or you can, so in that way, you don't have to, spend on the commuting cost if you're walking or using a bicycle. So there's a strong peer support. We have 3,920 students support staff that is available. So these staff are particularly available to really support you. So once you reach the university, in terms of settling you down in the university accommodation, helping you, because Japan has a different system in terms of how to use the appliances, or maybe how to segregate the garbage and everything. So anything to everything, they will be there to help you. So the career planning. So all the, so in Japan system is after second year, after you complete your second year of your undergraduate, you start applying for your job. Or if you want to do your master's in Japan or anywhere in the world, you can take support of a career planning support office. So whether you want to work in Japan, or whether you want to do your master's in Japan or anywhere in the world, any of the areas that you can choose and take the support. So what are the key features? So the key features is, the first is the scholarship. We have minimum of 20% scholarship that is given to all children, and a 50 and 100, and there are many other scholarships that are available. I'll be sharing that. Accommodation I've already shared. Online interview and online application, everything is online. You don't have to send anything by courier. It's a very simple process. I will be explaining that. English only. You don't need Japanese as part, you have to study in English, but once you are in Ritsumeikan, they will be teaching you Japanese. But if the child has a Japanese, as their child has learned Japanese before leaving the country, it is good for the child, even if for a few months, because it would help the child to settle in. And of course, in the university, they will also be learning Japanese. So there are study abroad opportunities. I've already mentioned that. So the programs, we have 5 programs. I'll be coming to that. They're all 4-year full-time program, all taught completely in English. So the first program is College of Global Liberal Arts. So it is a dual degree with Ritsumeikan and Australian National University. So you get 2 degrees. So this is how it looks like. Graduate from Ritsumeikan and graduate from Australia. Yeah. ANU. So this is how your 2 degrees will look like. And it is, you'll get a Bachelor of Global Liberal Arts and you'll get a Bachelor of Asia Pacific Affairs. So you will be studying in Japan and you will be studying in Australia. You will be taught by Ritsumei Can professor and you will be taught by ANU professor as well. It's a very, very special program because it's one of the very special program formed by any university in Japan where you get 2 degrees. So this is about ANU and about the GLA program. Yeah. So what would be the career path? A very, very few, the few things have been mentioned. Of course, there are more areas that the child can look at. Government agencies, consultancy firm, business and trade organization, development and aid organization, media agencies, university and research organization. So this is ANU campus. And the second is the joint degree with American University, where you get an opportunity to study in American University and in Ritsumei Can, you get a joint degree. And this is how it looks like, American University. Yeah. So the third program that we have is fully taught in Japan. That's our international relation program called as a global study major. So what is special about this program? This program is very, very popular. We are ranked #1 in Japan for this program, as we're the only member, university in Japan who's a full member of APSIA. And the other university who are the full member of APSIA are Ivy League, like Columbia, Harvard, Yale. So one of the top ranking universities of the world, they have this full accreditation. And it's a 4-year program, fully taught in Japan. And talking about the special features about the program, there are 50% international students, 50% Japanese students. Faculty. So the faculty is, the attraction is we have professors who have worked in one of the best organizations in the world, United Nations, World Bank, and many biggest NGOs. They've worked for years and now they are teaching the students. So they're teaching the students with their practical experience. So it is definitely an add-on in terms of the faculty member. So Japanese language will be part of the program. You will be studying language, Japanese language. And the 4th program is our policy science program. It's BA in policy science. The special thing about this program is we have a MEC scholarship for this program. And for last 7 to 8 years, we have Indian students who have been getting this scholarship. So it's a full tuition fee, full living expense, one-time airfare going to Japan and one-time coming back after 4 years. So it is it's like you are being taken care by Japanese government fully for 4 years. It's a very special scholarship. There is no separate application. You just have to apply to the program. And you will be, if you are part of those students, you will be, you will get the scholarship. Yes, it's a very, very simple process. So there's a lot of field work that is involved in this program. So this is one of the Indian students who got this full scholarship next. And she also got an opportunity because it has a lot of field work. So she went to Thailand, and many other children from India, they were able to go to different parts of the world to do their projects. And this is one of the example. So the last program we have is engineering. If any of the child is keen on engineering, so our engineering program is very, very popular because Ritsumei Can is very popular in Japan for engineering. Especially the Japanese students have to clear a very difficult exam to get through Ritsumei Can. But for international students, it is very easy because they don't have to give any exam. It is just an application form and they can apply to the program. So it's a 4-year program, and it is, these are the keywords: IoT, business intelligence, data science, artificial intelligence, robot technology, human interface, and many other. So what are the career paths? So this, some of them that are mentioned here: the big data analyst, global ICT support specialist, e-government system engineer, smart city engineer, and digital humanities curator. So talking about how to apply, I will be leaving this link for you, all the students, in the chat column, and you can go through it. The application is very simple. You just need a passport copy, an English test score, a letter from school, recommendation letter. The format is on the website. I'll be sharing the link. Academic transcript, your 10th, 11th, and the 12th predicted scores, essays, and the certificate of high school graduation, of who, again, the format is mentioned. For all our program, the essays are very important. So, to get a higher scholarship, the essays would be very, very important. So do not copy from the internet and really work on the essays. And what are the application deadlines? If you're planning to go for liberal arts, if you want to apply for liberal arts, application will start in October. So every child, I'll be sharing the link. You can download the application handbook and start working on the application. And once this application starts, you just have to submit it. So this is when the application will start. If you want to go for a joint degree with American University, these are the application deadline. And for international relation, the application starts in December, but you can start writing your essays months in advance, because in the application handbook, essays are given, documents, how you need to collect, everything is mentioned. Again, for a policy science, where we have full government scholarship. So both for international relation and policy science, we have a same application period, and you can apply it together also. And for our engineering program, we have 3 application period. So yes, so you can apply in February, August, October. So regarding the fee structure, so this is without the scholarship. As I already mentioned, every child will get a 20% scholarship, or a 50 or 100, or like any other scholarship, because there are many more scholarships that are available in the university. So the fee structure comes out to be about approximately 9 to 11 lakhs. And if you reduce the scholarship, it goes further down. And we also have living expense scholarship. So every international student going to Japan in any university gets a GESO scholarship. So if they go in September, they get GESO 48,000 yen for 6 months. And if they go in April, they get it for 1 year. So, and there are many other living expense scholarship that they can apply once they reach the university. So we have masters and PhD also available in these programs: international relation, policy science, economics, science and engineering, information science and engineering, and life sciences. If you're keen on any of them, I will be sharing the link for our masters and PhD and the email ID for our department. If you have any query relating to that, you can you can email them. And these are some of the session we are doing. If you're looking for MEX scholarship, that is a full scholarship, we have a session on July 18th. You can register for that, or any other session. Yeah. So yes. So yeah. So that is tomorrow. So July 18th is the last session that we have. It's tomorrow for the full scholarship. So these are my details. I will be sharing it with you on the chat column. So if you see the chat column now, I have shared the details about me, my email ID, the Facebook page. If you want to receive a direct information from Japan, that is the emails that will come directly from Japan for all the deadlines, you can sign up for the information here. And or if you're looking for master's link, or if you want to contact for postgraduate or PhD, the email ID, the Japanese, the department email ID is given here. Thank you very much, everyone. I understand it is Saturday, it's weekend. Thank you again for joining. And I'll be very, very happy to take any questions that you have. So, as ma'am already mentioned, I've been supporting children for last 11 years. So I'll be happy to support the children who are keen on going to Ritsumeikan, or if you're keen on going to any other university, I can share the link. Of course, I have very limited information about those universities, so I can share the link with you. And and you can contact them as well. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Priyanka-san. That was very informative. A lot of information was shared by you. Thank you so much. Now we would request the students to raise your hand one by one if there's any questions. Priyanka-san will take it.
So you want to say Japanese language course? One of the question that I have got on the chat, and then Kalika is raising her hand. So the first thing is the Japanese language course if you want to do. So generally all the children, if you want to go and learn Japanese, I will suggest you can even learn in India, and maybe your final thing you can look for any kind of a small college who are doing the Japanese language courses. You can focus on that. But if you're looking for a proper bachelor or a proper master's or PhD, then going to university would be a great option. And you will be learning Japanese as part of the program, as I've already mentioned. So if you're going for your bachelor's, you will be learning Japanese for 4 years. So by the time you complete your bachelor's, you will already be on N2. And, and N1 is something that you can continue after that. So yes, so that is part of the program. So you don't have to do separately, but if you're only looking for Japanese language, then you will have to take another path. So Kalika, you have a question. So can you ask?
Yes, thank you. I'm asking this on behalf of my son. So he wants to know about the School of Image Arts and Sciences, because that seems to have some very interesting courses, but probably that's not part of the English language program. But he is learning Japanese, so he was wondering about courses offered by that school.
So what I can do is, in the chat column, I will share the link of Gesso. And Gesso, this link has all the courses in Japanese university that are taught in English. So what I suggest is go through it. That's by Japanese government. And yeah. No,
what if so he's doing N2 right now, so what if he wants to is there is it difficult to get admission into a course which is taught in Japanese? Is there any additional requirements there?
I think so he can try. So N2 is a very high level, and he can try, because while he's in Japan and if he's doing any program, I feel his Japanese will only he'll be much better in Japanese. But I think so the student have to be very, very convinced, because everything, so it's like, like our mother tongue, we've been studying a particular language. So for us, fortunately, we've been doing in English. We can go anywhere in the world. So imagine if you are learning any subject from the starting till the end for many, many years in your mother tongue. So it's kind of that. But if he's looking for any short-term program, or if he's looking for bachelor especially, he can try, because bachelor is something he can move forward then, or maybe a short-term program. He can try that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Anything else? So I was not able to share the link. I will just do that. So this is a link for any other English program that you're looking for.
We have few questions in the chat box as well.
Okay. Okay, there are a lot. Does Ritsumeikan University have sports club? Yes, we have a gym, as you would have seen in the video. And we have, as I already mentioned, 400 plus activities in the university. So you can choose any of them, and there are many sports activity, because the campus, all the campus is huge. So you have a great opportunity to choose from any of them. I hope it answers. And then is kindly share information about PhD in international relation. So I will request, I have already left the email of our master, department. So you can even send your email for the PhD also to the same email ID. Yes, is what I can request. And the next is it possible to change your career by doing any other course in Japan? I've completed my engineering and I have 2 years of experience in my current field. So I will suggest please continue your engineering. Please complete it. And if you can continue to learn Japanese language in India along with your engineering. And after 2 years, once you have graduated in engineering and you have some bit of your Japanese language, you can think about then if you want to go to Japan, what do you want to learn? But don't leave your program in middle. So whatever you're doing, please continue. Is there any other question that I have left?
Yeah, there is one more from Akarsha JR.
Oh yeah. So what is the difference between Ritsumika and APU? Yes, a very important question actually. So Ritsumika, once when it completed 100 years, so as it is 121 years old university, after 100 years, they formed a university by the name of Ritsumika Asia Pacific University. And it is 21 years old. It is located in Beppu. So the campus is completely different. It is located, Beppu, it's in Fukuoka. And the programs are, they have more a management program. So in the GESO list, even APU is mentioned if you're keen on going for any of the program. So this is the major difference. So it's part of the same umbrella, but the campus is different. The professors are different. Most of the programs are different. Yeah. It's a separate university, but part of the same umbrella of huge Ritsumika Trust. Okay, and ma'am, according to you, what is the best campus in Ritsumika? So all the campuses are best. I believe you just have to choose the program that interests you. So, when I talk about the Kyoto campus, it is very old and it has that historic feeling. And especially during the cherry blossom, it is so beautiful. When I talk about the Osaka Ibaraki, that's a very new campus. It's like a 5-star facility. So it has its own look because it is very modern. And but I will not be able to compare both the campus because it has a historic look and it is very new campus. So both have its own advantages. But when a child is choosing the program, because the program is different in all the campus, so you will be choosing the program, not the campus, because the campus will come along with the program. So you can't change the campus if you go for a particular program. So
there is one more question from Charvi San.
Yeah, Charvi San.
Charvi San.
Yeah. So is there any college in Japan offering graphic design course? I will request you, please go through this GESO link. And if you get your program, I will suggest, please contact that university directly. So this link has all the programs that are offered in English at undergraduate, at master's and PhD is what I can suggest.
We have robotics.
So does any campus have robotics? So as I already mentioned, our engineering program has a lot of robotic content. So I have mentioned our website. I will suggest you go through it. And if you're interested, please contact me. And yeah, or if you're interested in any other program, you can go through it, go through that program as well. So now for commerce and management course, should I search in Ritsumika and APU? So yes, if you're interested in management, Ritsumika Asia Pacific University has the program in management, and there are many other universities that you can look in that GESO link. Yeah. And then you can contact them directly. So there are two participants who are raising the hand. Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, any more questions?
Ma'am, this is on behalf of my daughter Dhriti. Just wanted to quickly check with you after 12th, where you have gone through the slides. I've seen saying the documentation and all the aspects. But just a quick question after 12th for the Shiga campus, the 4 years course in English. What would be the approximate package, like, including all the living costs, and how many students from India are already studying are a couple of questions which I want.
So you're talking about an engineering program, right? For undergraduate
Correct.
engineering, bachelor's of engineering. So as I said, it is a very, so Ritsumeikan for engineering is very popular in Japan. So similarly, for our undergraduate, we have, in fact, because it's an April intake, so our application is still going on. And we have a huge demand for this program. And we have Indian students at undergraduate, at master's and PhD level. And talking about the scholarship, I've already mentioned a minimum of 20% scholarship you will get. So let's say the program cost is about 9 lakh to 10 lakh. So if you get a minimum of 20% scholarship in the first year, and you can even change it to 50 and 100 in second, third or fourth year, but the minimum you can get for all year is 20%. So it comes to be about 7.5 to 8 per year, maybe 7 lakhs per year. And again, for living cost, there are many living expense scholarships that are available. So, to start with, Jesus scholarship per month for this engineering program, the child gets for 1 year. And also the child can work part-time, 28 hours per week. So the Jesus scholarship per month is 48,000 yen. That's about 30,000 rupees per month for a year the child will be getting. And the living expense, as I've already mentioned, is about 8 to 9 lakhs. But in Shiga, the living expense is much less because our accommodation is even cheaper in Shiga. And it is little away from Kyoto and Osaka. So it's much cheaper. So you will save that cost also. So let's not talk about the package. I believe let the child apply. Let's see what kind of scholarship the child will get. And then once a child decides to go to Japan, and that is the time we talk about, okay, what is that you have to pay? What would be the expense on you? And what is the scholarship that the child has got? So these things will come later. So,
sorry for interrupting, ma'am. The reason why I asked is just to understand the planning versus the actual.
Yeah, I completely understand. So when I talk about Japan, you would have seen it's the tuition fee and the living expense are very, very reasonable or very, very affordable if you compare it with any part of the world.
Okay.
So you've already seen on the slide, right? So if I'm talking about 8 to 9 lakh of the tuition fee, and again 7 to 8 of the living cost, it is very affordable, and there are scholarships that are available. So that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Okay, and just to check with you, the eligibility criteria you mentioned, it's a straight process. There is no written test or anything required. And what is the difference between the private universities and the national universities, where there is some difference in Japan, right?
Right. So, for an engineering program, there is no interview. So they will, essays are very important for an engineering program. The essays, everything is mentioned in the application handbook. If you will see all the links, please copy paste all the links that I've sent. Our website link is there. You can sign up. You'll receive direct email from Japan. And our application handbook also, you will be able to go through the essays and everything. And if you're keen, I can always do a one-on-one session with you also. First, you go through everything, and then you can contact me for a one-on-one session. And to talk about the private and the government university, in Japan, things are very different. So National University in Japan has its own advantage, and private university in Japan is not like Indian private university. So private university in Japan also gets support from the government. Private university in Japan has two extra edge because they get a support from the corporate, and also they're very, they can be modern because they don't have to be very, very traditional and orthodox. So they can be modern in their own way. They also have many professors from many parts of the world who are teaching. So I will say it is very, very different, and it is, as I said, so Richard McCann is a private university, but it is 121 years old, very popular in Japan for Japanese students to even get through for engineering and for many other programs, especially for our international relation program as well. People from all over the world. We receive so many students from America, China, all parts of the world. So it is a very popular university.
Thank you, ma'am. One last question. Sorry for taking your time. Any people from India in Shiga campus currently active?
Yes, we have. So we have, because our engineering in English undergraduate started like 3 years back. So we have many children who are going in April, but we already have 5-6 students at in this second year now. And we have many children at master's and PhD level. At the master's, and we receive a lot of PhD students from IIT Hyderabad as well because of a special collaboration. We receive a lot of students of masters from Nitya University in Mangalore, and Symbiosis Pune, and IIT Hyderabad, and many other direct students.
Okay, thank you very much for your time. Probably I'll check with you for a one-on-one, ma'am.
Sure.
And thank you,
Thank you very much
for helping us to get connected.
Thank you.
We have one more question from Kalika on the chat box. So she's asking about applying to who are in 12th class students who are in 12th. So how do they apply after finishing school, or can they apply even while pursuing 12th?
So for students who are in class 12, do they apply after finishing? No, you can start applying from now. So if you're right now in class 12, for liberal arts, application will start in October. For our international relation and for a policy science, application will start in December, but you can start preparing much in advance. You don't have to wait till October. You don't have to wait till December. And for our engineering program, also the application will start. Any idea about psychology course? I have received it directly. Please check the GESO link. Is it possible to do MBA after engineering? You can do MBA after any program. And MBA in Japan, there are many universities in Japan. They look for GMAT. So if you don't have a work experience, the GMAT will be very, very can be taken into account. But yes, there are some universities who look for 2 years of work experience. But there are some who only need GMAT and your bachelor's as part to get through MBA program. Yeah. So I believe that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we've had a good number of questions.
Very, very inquisitive. I'm so happy to receive so many questions, and I hope I could answer. And in any case, you still have, please, while I'm using a number, what I suggest is please do your homework, check the website and everything, and then maybe put an email, or on my number, just put a WhatsApp. If you want to have a one-on-one interaction, we can always fix that.
That's great. Thank you very much, Priyanka-san, for patiently giving so much of information to all our students. Being youngsters, undergrads, they would have loads of questions, but parents and kids, I request, as Priyanka-san said, please go through their website, go through which program you would look forward to do. And then maybe, you can connect with us. We'll also put you across to Priyanka-san in case you have not noted her number. She would be more than happy to give you the guidance. So I hope with this we can end the session. We will look forward for all your queries. In case you have anything, we will forward it to Priyanka San. So once again, I thank Priyanka San very much for supporting us and giving all the inputs to our students. Over to you, Ashwini San.
Thank you
Yes,
very much. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Priyanka. That was a very wonderful session with so much of information pouring in and a lot of questions, very apt questions is what I can say. Priyanka San, I would request you to make a SNRCF post again.
You are on mute, Priyanka San.
So can you spell the name whom I have to make the host so that Sorry?
Sakura Nihongo Resource
Oh,
Center.
yeah. Okay, got it. Okay, done.
Thank you so much. I would like to thank Priyanka San for this wonderful session this morning, and also all the students who attended the session today. And I would also request the students to fill in the feedback form, which will be posted in our WhatsApp group for this webinar. So just to know, their feedback about the today's session. Thank you so much again. I would just wish a very happy weekend to all of you. Thank you, Priyanka. Thank you.
Thank you everyone from, thank you ma'am for organizing it, and thank you students, thank you parents for joining. Wishing you all the best wherever you decide to go in India, Japan, anywhere in the world, wishing you all the best. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. The session was really informative. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So we'll be ending the meeting now. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Ma'am, just give me 2 minutes. I have to note down the questions.
Sure.